Tell me if this is you too. You want to be organized and have a tidy home, but no matter how hard you try, it seems impossible. I know, I was there too. And I actually have always been a very organized person, so I could not figure out why my home was still such a mess. Let's get into it. Hi, y'all. I'm Kate with Simple and Healthy Mama. Thank you so much for being here. I talk a lot about decluttering and family minimalism or minimalish living, healthy choices, and parenting things. If that's something that interests you, I hope you will consider subscribing below. Also, while you're there, please hit like. All right, let's dive into this. So, you have always wanted to be organized, but it seems like such a struggle. Or you think you're fairly organized, but your house is still a mess. So I love operating in tidy spaces and having my house feel tidy and organized. Of course, it's going to be far from perfect. We have kids and a dog, and I've got a husband who's always doing projects. Things happen. But generally speaking, my house felt very out of control before, and now it feels much more manageable to me. There were two things that were keeping me from actually living in a tidy home, and I want to share them with you so that they can help you too. So the first lesson that I had to learn is that no matter how organized you are, if you have too much stuff, you will never have an organized and tidy home. Because you can organize and organize and organize, but if your stuff doesn't fit in your space, it's never going to feel the way you want it to feel. It's never going to have that good, calm, peaceful, tidy feeling. So believe it or not, I didn't even really know what minimalism was about 8 years ago. So my journey has been for about the last 8 years learning about minimalism. I remember I was at a neighbor's house and she mentioned like, my dream is to be a minimalist. And I thought, I wonder what that is. Well, since then, I have watched hundreds of videos and even taken classes online about decluttering and more minimal living. I know the title of minimalism scares a lot of people off. You do not have to be here because you want to be a minimalist. I am not strictly a minimalist in everything that I do, but we are living a lot more minimally with less stuff, and it really is a lot better. And so I want to encourage you to think about finding that balance of what is the right amount of stuff for you to manage and to have in your home. The reason I do like to talk about minimalism and not just decluttering is that if you declutter, but you don't have any amount of like a minimalist mindset, you're still going to probably get yourself into trouble because your house will continue to fill with stuff if you don't become a good gatekeeper, which is one of the foundational like skills of being a minimalist. So I'm not saying you have to be a minimalist, but you might want to adopt this idea that you need to be a better gatekeeper of what comes into your home so that you can still have a manageable amount of stuff. Because if you have this much stuff in your house and you're decluttering at this rate, but you're gaining more stuff at this rate, you're still going to end up behind. So minimalism goes well with decluttering because the philosophies behind it support keeping your home decluttered. The second thing that I was missing was that I did not understand that there were different organizational styles. This blew my mind. I thought, as I think a lot of people do, that there's just one right way to organize, and that if you're organized, your home is going to look a certain way, and that everything is going to be organized in small little micro categories, and everything is put away behind closed doors and in boxes with lids so you can't see any of your stuff. And you know what? It turns out that that's just one way of doing things. And if you try and organize a home in that way, and that's not a style that works for you and your brain, then you're not going to be very successful because you're not going to be able to maintain that style. So I think sometimes people will even like hire a professional organizer and they can make it look beautiful when they walk out the door, but the people can't maintain it because it's not a system that works for them. So you have to deal with the reality of the brains that you're living with, and some of them might be neurospicy, and you might not all be able to organize in a classic organized way. What I learned was that a lot of people need to be able to see their stuff, or at least see the stuff that they use day to day. And so some people, like me, actually like things put away behind like opaque doors. I like things in cabinets, closets, boxes, bins where I cannot see the stuff because visual clutter weighs on me. What I realized is that not everyone in my home is like that. And so some of our stuff needs to be in clear bins with lids. Some of our stuff needs to be in open baskets where you can just look in and dig for what you need. Like in the winter with like hats and mittens, my family would so much rather just have like a bin of all of it that they can dig through and grab than have it all micro organized like hats, mittens, scarves separately. That doesn't work for them. So whether or not you need things out where you can see them or in clear containers or wire baskets where you can see them is a really important thing to learn about yourself. Or do you like things hidden away? And you have to find a balance in your house because you might have multiple organizing styles. And you probably have to, if you are the hide it all away kind of person, you have to like push yourself a little bit if other people in your house like things visible, because they're going to have more trouble adapting to your style than you are to theirs, unfortunately. The other thing is how people categorize things. You might want everything in lots of little tiny categories when you organize, and other people might do better with bigger, more general categories. And this comes down to how you actually use the organization. So are you the type of person, or are the people you live with the type of people that are going to open a drawer and just dump stuff in? Like, let's say you have all of the charging cables kept in a drawer. Is your family actually going to open the drawer and read labels and like put the cables into the correct thing? Like, these are for phones and these are for iPads and da 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 da. Or is your family more the style that they're going to open the drawer, dump it in, slam the drawer shut? So that would be macro categories. This is for cords. If that's what your family needs, that's fine. It's not disorganized. It just means that when you open that drawer, you have to dig a little bit more to find that exact cable that you need. And it could be that in some categories you are able to be more micro organized and in some you're more macro organized. You've got to find the balance and find what works for your family. But I am telling you, this will absolutely change your life if you have tried only hidden away and micro organized stuff. If you try some of these other things, it might be the key that makes your whole home really start to work. One of our kids doesn't have a dresser anymore because we realized that when things went in the dresser, it was out of sight, out of mind. And so there was really no use for the dresser. It was like, those things don't exist, so I can't use them. And it's so much easier for that kid to have wire baskets in their closet. And then they can just have t-shirts, socks and underwear, these big categories that they then dig through. And it has worked so well that their room has not been a mess since we made the switch. So things like that can really help. So once I realized that I needed to declutter more and embrace some minimalist philosophies in my life, and that not everybody organizes in the same way, it was life-changing. It changed our whole home and things work so much better now. And so I'm really encouraging you to think about making some of those changes so that you can really move forward and keep your home under control. So what's different now for us? What's different is that I have taught by example for my kids how to do this, and they both have chosen to get rid of a ton of stuff in their rooms. They're older now, so they're not as into toys, but even the last few years where they would have maybe still been into toys, they got rid of a lot of things on their own because they realized that they don't want to deal with it and they don't want to have it all around. So both of my kids kind of picked categories of toys that they cared about and kept those. Like my son is still super into Legos, so he's got tons of Legos still, totally fine. He also likes to do a lot of like detail work, so he's got some little like paintings kits for things. So he's got his things that he still really likes, but the stuff that he didn't care about, he just got rid of. And both of my kids will routinely go through their closet and like declutter it, clear things out, be like, I don't wear this, that doesn't fit, that's worn out, that's stained. And they know how to go through and get it organized themselves now, which is so nice. And it's all because they've been hearing me do it. And I do it out loud sometimes, or I'll talk to them about, oh, I got rid of that because of this, so that they're learning as I'm doing it, which has been really great because I am a firm believer that kids do not do as you say, they do as you do. I promise. They do as you do. They see me declutter. They see me thinking through how to get rid of things and what to keep and where to store things and how much time I want to spend doing all of that. And that's what they are mirroring back. It's been fantastic. I would say I was a very slow and steady declutterer. I know some people get the bug and they just like do their whole house super fast and then they're caught up. I feel like it has taken me years to get to this point where I feel like we've arrived. I wouldn't say you're ever really finished decluttering because you are always getting new things and having to get rid of things to keep yourself in that balance. But it was a slow process for me, and that's okay. It's really okay. It's still worth doing. Please give it a try. Every space that we get under control in our house feels so much better. So even if it's just getting your dining room under control and then learning to live with it and keep it tidy, then you move on to the next space, that's fine. A couple of other things that have helped in this process is that I have this mantra in my head of put it where you would look for it first. And this is not stolen from, I'm telling you. Dana K. White of A Slob Comes Clean teaches about this, and I freaking love it. It's so smart. Instead of putting things where you think they should go, put it where you would look for it first. Because then the next time you can't remember where you put it, you're like, well, where's the first place I would look for it? And then, it's there. It's great. It works so well. Give it a try. Another thing I have running through my head is complete the task. So it's all those little things that take 2 minutes or less. Instead of just like setting something on the stairs that you're going to put away later, just take it there now. Oh, take it there now. That's another one. Take it there now, complete the task. When I'm tidying up the kitchen for the night, I don't just load the dishwasher, I wipe the counters, I rinse out the sink. I want things to feel complete and that I haven't left 80 different jobs halfway finished. One thing that I would say our family's not great at is that we don't have a set schedule of when we like do a quick tidy of everything. I've heard that, tidying up for 5 minutes once a day as a family is a really good thing. I wish that we had implemented that. We haven't yet. So maintaining our system would probably go a bit better if we actually had a set time for it. So if you do that or you have found something that works for you, let me know in the comments how you got that started and how that works, because I would love to hear. If you're interested in more videos about decluttering, please check out my decluttering playlist that I will link below, or watch some more of my videos, which should be popping up around me here as this video wraps up. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, declutter, then organize, and organize based on styles. Catch you next time, y'all.